voicemail.
Apprentice meets the Dragon's Den. Oh! But it's going to be about what we do. You're going to come up with a project in a day that meets the needs of some target group in Northwest Locality. You then go to a secret location, and there will be a panel of dragons waiting for you. And they'll be so cruel. They'll be very friendly. Your team will each pitch your idea to them. They will choose one of those, and one of those will receive an investment of £1,000. And that's real. You will actually get the £1,000 to put your project in place.
I think the approach that's been used for the Away Day today is very original and very innovative, and I think is exactly what's needed when you're trying to bring a team of disparate workers together who actually are all working to the same community and for the same cause, but perhaps don't see that very often.
We're working on staying safe, so that's going to be the topic of our discussion in how to stay safe amongst young people. We're going to be actually getting young people to produce a music video. Young people talked a lot about the young people about, ideas. So what we're going to do is get young people to talk to other young people about how it's trending, cool to actually stay safe and stay out of a gang.
We're off to see Carol Ben, who's a senior youth worker at the Avenues Youth Centre. Hopefully he's going to give us some feedback on our ideas and tell us what resources he's going to offer us.
We've got to be there for 2:45. I told him 15 minutes. So we've got to go. Bye.
Are you going to win today?
Yeah!
We're at 3rd Avenue's Youth Centre on 3rd Avenue, about to meet Carol Bent, who's a senior youth worker for the area. So we're going to get his views on our project.
And I might sit here and say, well, I'm talking on behalf of young people, actually. Times have changed, and you're coming up with a new project that no one knows what the input's going to be.
Okay.
And it would be best to give them a free rein. Okay. Rather than try and take them down a particular path.
Okay.
And they're also going to interview young people in the street about what they think about a music video produced and created by young people about staying safe, it being cool to stay out of a gang, and also going to a school to actually talk to young people in the schools.
We're going to get young people together to do a rap video about not being in gangs. And we're going to put it on YouTube. Would you look at it? Yeah. Yeah?
Today we've been thinking about volunteering and work experience and a youth action group that will kind of incorporate all that and also incorporate mentoring, and we want to set up a website that young people can run where they can find work experience, like unique work experience and volunteering, and also have a buddy that will kind of lead them to these experiences.
But one of the main barriers we want to overcome with this project is the whole catch-22 of needing experience before you get a job. We want to be able to say to young people, don't need experience, what are your interests, and point them in a direction that's going to give them skills and experience in that field.
Volunteering is often not about getting exact skills in the profession you want, but it's getting a lot of unemployed people we found don't have the basic skills that you need to put on your CV, like you can demonstrate that you're good at timekeeping, that you're a team player, that you've demonstrated leadership abilities, creative thinking, and you can get all that from doing a stint in a charity and getting a reference from the charity.
And we're just wondering how you feel. Would you go volunteer? Is it something that you'd be interested in?
Definitely, yeah.
We're bearing around young carers at the moment, and it's the Be Healthy we're working on, so we're trying to pinpoint at the moment and trying to find out target groups and where there's a lack in the young carers market. I think that's where we are at the moment anyway. Everyone's contributing. We are just all in agreement that we need to kind of pinpoint again something just to try and make that progress and focus on that so we can start pushing it forward a bit more.
Do you think that you, at this age,
could help other young carers and encourage them to join these groups for support?
Maybe.
Why
I don't
maybe?
really know much about it, so...
Would you be interested in finding out more about it now that you're older?
Yeah.
Can you tell me anything that you think could have helped your child, your daughter?
Well, when she was younger, probably more help with schoolwork. When I wasn't well, probably. So more one-on-to-one with, because if you haven't got any other family to help out, and you can't really help with schoolwork, then it's going to affect their results.
And do you know about the young carers?
I've heard about it, but I don't really know much about it.
That's 80 for the week. They've spent it on biscuits.
We've got a general idea what we want to do, but there's lots of discussions going on, so we're still not kind of clear about the specifics of how we're going to run it.
Modelling. Train a group. Train a group of young people to actually to go into schools themselves and support their peers. So if we could train them into life skills, the kind of stuff we're talking about here.
It's all about being creative and innovative on a day and finding out little sparks of things within you which you didn't know about.
We're at the Bayswater Children's Centre. We've come to see Jo Luke to see if she thinks that our project is a good idea and to see if this organisation can actually support us.
Be mentoring other people in their own age group, and being leaders and role models.
Yeah, and there'll be a financial incentive.
Financial
incentive
that's
for
brilliant.
that.
Yeah, that's great.
Thank you. Okay, there's definitely a need for projects targeting young girls in North Westminster.
Paddington Development Trust, Jackie Rosenberg, did she offer anything?
She said
she'd get on board.
Well, she'd get on board.
Yeah. But what does on board mean?
What capacity?
Yeah. I think we probably didn't explore that specifically.
Our ECM is Enjoy and Achieve. Like have 2 separate sessions, classes where we can bring young people and their parents, especially younger ones, and their parents together separately. And then eventually these sessions will bring them together.
We're going to find an office space at a secret location, and someone's going to be writing the pitch from that office space, and interviews are going to take place from that office space.
We're here at Dart Street. We came to see a group called Tell It. It's for parents group to pitch our project. Do you think that your users would benefit from the project that we've just outlined?
Yes. I know you've got sort of the broad Enjoy and Achieve thing, but once you've really fine-tuned that to make sure it sits with what they want sort of thing, then yeah, the benefit could be quite high.
The meeting went really well. We just gave them our ideas and they thought it was actually wonderful, and they said they would be happy to promote it for us, and they can see it actually working, and there's definitely a need for it.
When they pitched their idea, they were really enthusiastic. They definitely still got a bit of work to do to work out the practicalities of how the project would run, but they seemed very, very keen on pulling this project together. I think it's a great idea in principle, but like Mel says, it is a huge challenge to pull together.
Firstly, I'd have to say I love the concept. I think it's really, really good. We see even around here the young people that we work with, a lot of them are coming with a story of family breakdown and various things happening in the home, and we always hear a story of we can't talk to mum, can't talk, dad doesn't understand. And so young people are going and looking at other relational options to have their needs met. So definitely there is a need.
Today we would like to tell you about a project about young ambassadors for young carers.
We wanted to create young ambassadors that can represent the young carers scheme.
So using young ambassadors, we would get them to go into schools and then re-employ basically.
I'd be interested to know how you plan to use your £1,000 if you were successful.
Add in the £3,000 training, so you're getting a £4,000 project for £1,000.
Get rid of as many barriers as possible that young people might face when looking for work experience or employment. But it is going to be quite web-based to increase the accessibility for young people as well.
So how do you plan to reach people who don't look to be reached so easily?
And I just think it's really important for all of the project ideas that you think about sustainability, because the £1,000 isn't going to go very fast.
The aims of our project is to reduce poverty, teenage pregnancy, raise self-esteem with young people. So we'll train them to actually then roll the project out to support younger people.
A lot of girls that aren't accessing the youth clubs at the moment, so projects that are specifically targeting at them are absolutely perfect.
First of all, congratulations, a very professional pitch, very passionate team, very talkative team. I think for me, one of the really interesting things here is that you talk about poverty and teenage pregnancy and self-esteem, and I really like the title you've given the project, Top Girls. I think that shows aspiration and where you want to get them.
You know, what will success look like? I mean, you know, it's just, you know, what's going to happen after £1,000. You've got this lots of energy. You get out there, get these. So when will you know?
And if you could sort of empower them to look at the pitfalls of getting into gangs, by the time they get up to about 13, going 14, 15, 16, you're kind of changing their viewpoint.
I think you've hit on you know, something which is particularly close to my heart, this issue of sort of youth violence.
I suppose for me, I was really sort of pleased to see the community involvement in that, you know, in your evidence, etc., etc.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. Thank you.
It's about bridging the gap between the parents and the teenagers, primary focus on teenagers, particularly if, say, the parent was not born in this country, but the children were brought up here, and there could be a big cultural difference between what it means to be a teenager in this country compared to, you know, in another country. We spoke to a number of partners who were really, really excited about the project, including the Tell It organisation, who said that there are a lot of parents who don't know don't understand their children and their culture, and it's important for them to understand it.
Sounds like a great project, and obviously you've been talking to Angela, who does something similar in her day job, so I've no doubt she can say more about it than I can. My sort of gut reaction to this, though, is how many teenagers really want to hang out with their parents talking about what music they like.
I think that's where our skills come in. We're all professionals in engaging young people and parents. We run these sort of groups. We get young people to places you wouldn't imagine they want to come on a weekly basis, and it is difficult, but that's why all our expertise, we need to come in at that point and engage in these hard to reach young people, which is what we do every day.
The thought of these separate sessions, and then you come together at the 6th session and bang, something comes out.
And they spend quality time with their parents that a lot of young people, especially who have working parents, don't spend.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
To start by saying we thought this initiative was really great. The fact that you sort of came out of your comfort zones and worked with people possibly that you don't ordinarily work with.
So without any further ado, I shall announce that the winning team was Team Contemporary. We thought gave a very convincing pitch, a very well polished pitch, but particularly we thought that it was a manageable project, one which would involve lots of different groups in its delivery, and one which had a very clear beginning and end. And it shouldn't take away from all the other projects which were very ambitious, but which we hope we can get you to realise with some further support and so on. But this was the winner today, so congratulations to all of you.